Ah, hell yeah! Not since Bocce the Rock as a girls band anime delivered such an amazing first impression on me. And at the risk of horribly jinxing it, I dare say that we may very well be looking at a potential anime of the season. Ah, f it. I'm calling it right now. This is the rock and roll lifestyle, baby. You live in the moment and deal with the long-term repercussions later. I don't care if that doesn't make any sense. Now, if the trailer didn't already make it obvious, let me quickly go over the premise. A former lower middle class chick named Susanami Lilisa is thrust into the armpits of the elite upper class after her mother remarries a wealthy businessman, or politician, or whatever the hell he was. Now forced to abide by the pomp and circumstance of an elite young lady, Lilisa very reluctantly trudges through her uptight school life, but her heart still yearns for her former lifestyle, specifically her love of rock music. After dealing with her usual socialite duties, Lilisa accidentally bumps into Kurigane Otaha, an ideal/cliche Ojo-sama with all the ideal/cliche Ojo-sama traits. After their chance encounter, Lilisa notices a random guitar pick on the floor, and later finds out that it belonged to Otaha. In an effort to return the pick to her, she follows a lovely maiden to a building next to their school, and discovers that Otaha was a skilled drummer, a far cry from the typical Ojo-sama image. After returning the guitar pick, Otaha encouraged Lilisa to pick up the guitar once again. Then the two had a rock battle to end all rock battles. After they finished their jam session, Lilisa was thoroughly impressed by Otaha's mad skills, and as she went to congratulate her, Otaha burst out in a roast so epic, it made every single Moskis watch and cream their pants, or pop their ovaries. And with that, the two girls' wild and flirtatious days of rock and roll begins. So if you can't tell by now, I was smitten by this premiere. So now's the time to go over some of my thoughts, and what I can expect from this crazy show. First of all, the anime is a goddamn feast for the eyes, which given the fact that it's made by Bandai Namco isn't too surprising. They're making good use of all that Gundam money. But what's most impressive is their nearly flawless incorporation of motion capture in all the CGI music scenes. This was definitely a wise decision, as it's able to really back up how talented these characters are supposed to be in the show, especially when it comes to Otaha's ungodly hammering. On a side note, it'd be cool to see anime studios use more mocap and 2D animation, at the very least in sections where realistic facial expressions or movements are necessary. Is there an Andy Serkis equivalent working in Japan right now? Next, I want to bring up some things about our main girl Lilisa. First of all, as high-class anime ladies with comically large hair drills go, she has to rank near the very top of that long list. I mean, Jesus, most of the time you can't even fit those things into the frame. But I guess a more important takeaway about her is her motivation to be a noble maiden. Basically being the best stereotypical anime Ojo-sama. I guess part of the reason is to make her mother happy, but it's clear that this way of life is really twisting her panties in a knot, being constantly bombarded by desuwas and gokigenyos. It's like some kind of freak world. However, as someone who has consumed more than 10 years of Yuri content, upper-class all-girls schools have become a setting etched into my very cranium, along with all the gay facets that come with it. Anyway, another familiar anime trope is of course the deceased parent, with Lilisa's dad keeping this tried and true anime tradition alive.
How ironic.
Actually, I don't know if he's dead or just straight up left for a pack of cigarettes. Either way, he's the reason Lilisa decided to quit playing the guitar. We also got some neat conflicts involving her character in the first episode. A girl who puts on a facade all for the greater good due to familial reasons, but misses her former life of simplicities and good old rock music. And of course, all this is put into jeopardy when a wicked temptress revitalizes her love of playing guitar, something the upper crust would deem unbecoming of an elite young lady. Speaking of the wicked temptress, I guess now's a good time to talk about the Yuri potential. Now, the gay first encounter between Lilisa and Otaha was nothing new in the genre. Actually, nothing's really new in this series as far as I can tell. But that doesn't mean it can't be highly entertaining. And unsurprisingly, the fun amps up when these two show their true colors to each other, which totally floors Lilisa's original perception of the prim and proper young maiden. Just a quick note, I wish they had the music blaring louder in this scene, and maybe added more effects too, just to make it more impactful. After all, this eruption from Otaha was supposed to be a shocking 180, and though Lilisa's pride was gravely shattered by this potty-mouth sex bomb, methinks the attraction to her was greatly amplified. We know she gay panicked at the first sight of her, and subconsciously wanted a BDSM relationship. But more importantly, Lilisa acknowledges Otaha's gnarly music skills as being on par with her own. And however harsh her words were, she still lit a fire under Lilisa, which obviously will lead into her character progression. Also, I can't believe it took me this long to realize it, but these two are the splitting image of Yumiko and Mary from Kagagurui, right down to the playful teasing dynamic, which which was really apparent in episode 2. Now, of course, this is sweet jam on my toast considering how much I ship Yumiko and Mary, but I really hope they can divulge from them in terms of drama and conflict. But so far, I got a good sense of their chemistry. Also, if they continue with those sadomasochistic analogies, I swear I'm gonna go absolutely ham with fan art ideas. My hand is just twitching with excitement. Not like that, you perv. On top of that, please give us more sexual innuendos too.
昨日私とあれほど交わったのに
Anyway, great start so far. Some fun setups, fantastic music and animation, and highly entertaining characters. Speaking of characters, I also eagerly anticipate meeting the remaining 2 members of their eventual band. Their designs are exquisite, and obviously since it'll just be 4 members, with Lilasa and Otaha already being paired up, well, let's just say a shipper has to do what a shipper has to do. And I'm assuming the flowers in the music room are supposed to represent each member, with the rose being Ota's and the lily being Lilasa's. Obviously. I wonder what the other ones will be. More equally gay flowers, I assume. Also, $10 on the Emoto being a total siscon. Believe it or not, I got that impression right from her appearance in episode 1. That's how sensitive my Yuri radar is. Finally, for those who are curious about my thoughts on the other anime premiering this season, so far everything is pretty darn good. Again, there are no overt Yuri signs yet. Instead, it's showing up more as shipping material, which is no surprise anymore in the modern anime landscape. If you want to know which anime I'm currently watching and want to check them out for yourself, just refer to my last video where I go over all the potential Yuri anime this season. But yeah, my spirit so far is high, and my love for some of these shows is even higher. Alright, that's all for now. See you around.